You're 12 years old the first time you step onto a pirate ship. The dock is still dark. Lanterns swing in the wind, throwing long shadows across the wooden planks of the harbor. Sailors shout in the distance while waves slap against the hulls of ships tied to the pier. You weren't supposed to be here. You're just a dock kid, one of dozens of boys who survive by running errands for sailors and carrying crates for merchants. Some days you earn a few coins. Some days you earn nothing at all. But today's different. During the night, a pirate ship arrived. You noticed it before most people did. Its sails were patched and dark, its hull scarred by battles, and above it all, a black flag hung loosely from the mast. Everyone on the docks knows what that flag means. Trouble, danger, and opportunity. You watch from the shadows as pirates unload stolen cargo from their ship. Barrels of rum, crates of sugar, rolls of silk taken from merchant vessels somewhere far out at sea. The men are loud, laughing, drinking, armed with pistols and curved cutlasses. One of them notices you watching. Before you can run, he grabs your arm. For a moment, you think you're dead. But instead of dragging you away, he laughs. You're quick, he says. You stay silent. You've learned something important about men like these. Talking too much is dangerous. He pushes you up the gangplank and onto the ship. The deck smells like salt water, gunpowder, sweat, and old wood. The ship creaks with every wave as ropes strain against the masts. The pirate shoves a bucket into your hands. Start scrubbing. That's how it begins. You become the cabin boy, the lowest rank on the ship. Your life becomes endless work. You wake before sunrise to scrub the deck clean before the captain appears. If the wood is still dirty when he walks out of his cabin, someone gets punished, usually you. You hold buckets of seawater until your arms ache. You clean pistols. You carry rum bottles to pirates who barely remember your name. You run messages between officers and fetch whatever anyone demands. At night, you sleep in a narrow hammock below deck surrounded by snoring pirates, the air thick with smoke and sweat. Some nights, storms slam waves across the ship so violently that nobody sleeps at all. Other nights, the sea is calm. But calm seas don't mean safety, because pirates are unpredictable men. Fights break out over money, rum, or insults that started days earlier. You've seen knives drawn over smaller things, so you learn to stay invisible, move quickly, speak little, survive. Weeks turn into months. The crew watches you. Pirates notice everything. They notice how fast you run across the deck, how you climb the rigging without fear, how you keep working even when storms hammer the ship. They are testing you, not with words, with hardship, because pirate crews don't recruit boys. They simply watch to see who survives long enough to become one. One night, a violent storm tears across the sea. Wind howls through the sails, and waves slam across the deck hard enough to knock grown men down. In the chaos, a rope snaps loose, whipping violently across the mast. Without thinking, you run. You grab the rope and tie it back before it can tear the sail apart. When the storm finally passes, the deck is silent except for dripping water. An older pirate studies you. Then he nods. It's the first sign of approval you've ever received. You're still the cabin boy. But now the crew sees something different. They see someone who might survive. And on a pirate ship, survival is the first step toward becoming dangerous. By 14, you've changed. The ocean has hardened you. Your hands are rough from rope burns and splinters. Your balance adjusts automatically to the movement of the ship. One morning, the quartermaster drags you below deck into the powder magazine. Barrels of black powder line the walls, enough explosive force to destroy the entire ship. You run powder now, he says. You've become the powder monkey. During battle, cannons must fire again and again. But gunpowder is stored deep below deck to prevent accidents. Someone must carry it to the gunners. Someone small, someone fast, someone expendable. That someone is you. The first battle comes suddenly. Ship on the horizon. Cannons roll into position. Sailors shout. Smoke fills the air. Powder, the gunner screams. You run. Down to the magazine. Grab the charge. Back up the stairs. Cannons fire again. Powder. You run again. Through smoke. Through chaos. Every trip could be your last. One spark could ignite the powder in your hands. But you keep moving. Again. And again. When the battle finally ends, you collapse against the railing. The gunner looks at you. Fast. It's the closest thing to praise you'll ever hear. By 16, you're promoted to deckhand. Now you haul ropes thicker than your arm and climb the rigging to adjust sails while the wind tries to tear you off the mast. You patch damaged planks after battles and scrub the deck after storms. Some sailors fall. One moment they're climbing the mast. The next they're gone. The ocean swallows them without a trace. On pirate ships, death is simply part of the job. Eventually the day comes when a merchant ship appears on the horizon. Cannons fire. Hooks fly across the gap. The ships slam together. Board them. You leap onto the enemy deck with the rest of the crew. Gunshots explode. Steel clashes. Men shout. For the first time you're fighting face to face. Close. Violent. Personal. You grip your cutlass and move with the crew. You're no longer just surviving pirate life. You're living it. By 19, you're part of the boarding fighters. Cannons weaken ships, but boarding wins them. You carry a cutlass, a pistol, and a dagger. The pistol fires once. After that, it's steel. Boarding fights are chaos. Men rushing, blades flashing. Gunshots echoing across the deck. You learn to move fast, strike fast, and never stand still. Within minutes, the merchant crew surrenders. The cargo becomes yours. Your share of the loot grows. You're no longer the boy who scrubbed decks. You're one of the pirates who takes ships. By 23, you become a gunner. Cannons are the true power of a pirate ship. Your job is to aim. Your shot can cripple an enemy before the boarding even begins. During one battle, you fire at the perfect moment. Your cannonball smashes into the enemy mast. The mast collapses. Without sails, the ship cannot maneuver. The captain laughs. Good shot. Your reputation begins to grow. By 28, you become the sailing master. Now you guide the ship itself. You study wind, currents, and storm patterns. You decide when to chase prey and when to disappear into the open sea. One day, 2 Navy warships appear on the horizon. Instead of fighting, you guide the ship into a current most sailors wouldn't notice. Slowly, the warships fall behind. The crew cheers. You saved them. By 35, you become quartermaster. Second in command. You enforce the pirate code and divide the treasure after raids. You settle arguments and represent the crew against the captain. Without the quartermaster, pirate crews tear themselves apart. Your power grows. Eventually, after a brutal battle where the captain is killed, the crew looks to you. You take command. You become captain. Now every decision belongs to you. Where the ship sails, which ships are hunted, when to fight, and when to run. Your name spreads through the sea lanes. Merchant captains whisper about your flag. Naval officers hunt your ship. Years pass. Storms come and go. Battles come and go. Friends disappear beneath the waves. But somehow you survive. By 60, you've become something rare. A pirate legend. Your ship anchors quietly in a hidden cove after another successful raid. The sun sets across the ocean. You stand at the rail watching the waves. Across the deck, a young cabin boy runs past carrying a bucket of seawater. Small, fast, trying not to get in anyone's way. You recognize that energy. You had it once. The boy stumbles but catches himself before spilling the water. A sailor laughs and shouts for him to move faster. He nods and runs again. You smile. Because pirate life never really ends. It simply replaces the men who live it. One day that boy might climb the rigging. He might fight boarding battles. He might command cannons. Maybe he'll even stand where you stand now. Captain of a ship feared across the sea. Or maybe the ocean will take him first. That's pirate life. No guarantees. No safety. Only the horizon ahead. And the choices you make along the way. Because the sea gives power. But it always demands a price. And legends are simply the pirates who survived long enough to pay it.